Brothers and sisters,
Every day is a new opportunity to hear and learn from God. Let's take this moment to receive His word for today.
here's today's scripture.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, well, we're diving into a powerful and often thought about set of ideas, Matthew 5, specifically verses 5 through 10.
Right. Part of the Beatitudes from the Sermon on the Mount.
Exactly. And I think what's so interesting here is how these values really push back against, well, our usual ways of thinking about strength, success, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like a different perspective entirely. Forget the usual metrics for a minute. We're exploring a different kind of power drawn from this ancient religious text.
Absolutely. So our mission today is really to unpack these 6 short verses. They're dense, though.
Oh,
We
definitely.
want to get to the heart of what they're saying about, humility, about really wanting what's right, compassion, making peace.
And even how to handle tough times,
Yeah.
facing opposition for doing the right thing.
Okay, let's dive right in. Verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Now, meek, that word often makes people think weak, doesn't it?
It really does. But what's fascinating here is how far that seems to be from the intended meaning. Think of meekness less as weakness and more as strength under control.
Strength under control. Okay.
Yeah, like patience, choosing kindness, actively deciding to put others first sometimes. It's strength, absolutely, but it's directed, used with intention.
Right. So it's not about being a doormat. It's a choice,
Yeah.
a deliberate posture.
Precisely.
And this idea of inheriting the earth, that's a pretty significant promise tied to gentleness. How do we even start to unpack that?
Well, if you think about it in the long run, lasting influence, it often comes less from brute force, right? And more from that sustained, maybe quieter strength, building real connections. Maybe that's part of inheriting in a deeper sense.
Okay. Then we get to verse 6. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. This sounds intense, not just a mild preference.
No, not at all. It's that deep, almost like a fundamental craving for things to be right, for justice. Like you can't be satisfied until things align with what should be.
Yeah, like a physical hunger or thirst. That's strong.
Exactly. And in a world that often feels deeply unfair,
It certainly can.
this verse offers this powerful idea that the yearning itself, that intense desire for justice, it actually matters. And it will somehow ultimately be satisfied. It values that inner drive.
Okay. Moving to verse 7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. This one has a nice balance to it, a symmetry.
It does, doesn't it? It really points towards interchange, transformation, cultivating compassion. It's not just, doing a kind thing now and then.
It's about the heart.
Yes, a merciful heart. And if you think about how communities work or how they should work, these are the qualities that allow for forgiveness, for understanding, for healing, building healthier communities, really.
That makes sense. Then, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Pure in heart. And what does that really point to here?
I think it suggests a kind of inner integrity, sincerity, like
Right.
no hidden agendas, no duplicity, just wholeness within.
Yeah.
And the idea is that this inner clarity, this purity, it allows for a different kind of perception, maybe a deeper connection or understanding, seeing things, perhaps even God, more clearly because there's less internal static,
Less noise inside. Got it. Okay, next. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Peacemakers. That sounds very active.
Oh, absolutely. It's not peacekeepers or peace lovers necessarily, but peacemakers. It implies action.
Right. Doing something.
Yeah, actively working to build bridges, to resolve conflicts, to create harmony where there's discord. It's not just about avoiding fights yourself and connecting that action, that making of peace with being called children of God, that really elevates its importance, aligning it with God's own identity and mission, perhaps.
Okay, finally, verse 10. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. This one. This can feel like a tough pill to swallow. Persecution is a blessing.
It's definitely challenging. It forces us to ask, well, what are our ultimate priorities? What really matters?
Right. Because usually we see persecution or opposition as failure or something to avoid at all costs.
Exactly. But this verse flips that script completely. It suggests that maybe sometimes facing opposition because you're standing up for what's right, that isn't failure. It actually holds profound value.
Okay.
It's framing it almost like a badge of honor in a way, prioritizing maybe spiritual depth or integrity over just worldly success or even comfort. Finding value despite the trials.
So putting these all together, verses 5 through 10, it really paints a picture of, well, a value system that's pretty countercultural.
It absolutely is. It's a vision that lifts up humility, not as weakness, but as controlled strength, that values that deep hunger for justice, the power of compassion, the active work of peacemaking, and finding worth. Even when facing hardship for doing good, it looks beyond easy answers or popular opinion.
So for everyone listening, maybe as you go about your day, it's worth thinking about how these ancient ideas might offer, I don't know, a fresh lens on what real strength could look like.
Yeah, and not just for ourselves, but how these values might contribute to, healthier relationships, better communities overall.
Definitely food for thought.
And maybe here's something specific to really chew on as we wrap up. Looking back at these 6 blessings we've discussed, which one, for you personally, resonates the most right now? And maybe even more interesting, which one challenges your own perspective, your current way of thinking the most profoundly? Why is that?